Hey guys, I'm going to clone this computer, the hard drive on this computer, which in this case is full, to a larger hard drive. And then we're going to boot from that hard drive. This customer's computer, as you can see here, the hard drive is a 240 gig SSD drive, and you can see that it's full. So I'm going to get a larger hard drive, which is a 480 gig hard drive, and clone the C drive to that drive, which will give us more free space, and then we can put that larger drive back in the computer and boot from it. Now, there's plenty of videos already online that show you how to do this, but I'm going to show you the way that I like to do it, because what I like about this method is you can actually clone the disk from within the operating system that you're cloning from. So you don't have to boot to a boot disk, which can be a bit of a pain, especially if you've got like a Windows 10 machine with secure boot turned on. It can be a bit of a fiddle. So this way is real easy. Now, the software I like to use is called Macram Reflect. If you go to their website, you can download the free version. This software will do everything that you need to do on a Windows machine. If you've got a server and you want to clone that, you have to pay for that version, but in this video, we're just going to be cloning a Windows 7 machine. So just go ahead and go to the website, click Home Use. And I just chose Home Use. It doesn't really matter. I think it's basically the same thing, home or business use. It just maybe sends you different marketing material when you sign up. So I've actually already downloaded this, so I'm not going to do that again, but it's pretty straightforward. So this is the program here, Macram Reflect. We're going to select the free version. We're just going to pretty much follow the default, so I'm going to hit download. It's only 100 meg, but my internet connection I've got here right now is a bit on the slow side, so I apologize for that. I'm just starting out on YouTube, so if you like this video, please hit subscribe. Let me know in the comments if there's any other things that you want me to make videos about. Like I said, there's heaps of other videos on cloning hard disks and cloning SSDs, but I've been doing this work for quite a while, and I like to find the quickest and easiest way to do things. And this method, like I said, is pretty much the quickest and easiest that I've found at the moment, which I find reliable. You know, things change. What might work, there might be a better solution coming around in the future. So always keep an open mind to trying new things. But you tend to just do things that work for you and stick to them, because you know, you want to do your work as quick as you can, move on to the next job and make some more money. So we're just going to follow this installation. I'm just going to choose home license. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure what the difference is, but this will do what we need it to do for us. You don't have to register this copy. We're only going to be using it once on this machine, and then I'm going to remove this software when I'm finished, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, obviously I want to install it on the C drive. Oh, it's saying I don't have enough space left on the C drive. So let's delete this stuff out of the download folder. We don't really need that. Still don't have enough space. I need 512 megabytes and I've only got 374. Let's empty the recycle bin. $5.99, that should be enough. This is a Windows 7 machine too, by the way, guys. Probably take this opportunity to upgrade it to Windows 10. I normally would do the clone first and then the upgrade, just because if the upgrade fails or there's some problem, we're still going to have the old disk untouched, and we can just put that back in and boot from it. So whenever you do an upgrade like this, it's always a good idea to have like a rollback or a fallback option. So if you mess things up, you've always got a way in your mind of putting it back to how it was for your customer. Because the last thing you want to do, especially if you're doing this for someone else, is lose data. In the IT industry, that is like the worst thing you can do. So just be mindful of that as well. Okay, so we finished the installation. Okay, so this is the interface here. You can actually, in this software, create a boot disk as well. So you can actually boot to a Macram Reflect boot disk and do all this stuff out of the operating system, which sometimes is a good idea. But I just find it easier to do it this way. You don't have to muck around with BIOS settings. You don't have to muck around trying to boot from a different device, especially if it's a more modern computer running secure boot and things like that. It's just much easier this way. Right, so this is the layout of the program. This obviously is the existing disk, and this is the new disk that we're going to be cloning to. So I'm going to highlight this disk, and then choose the option here, clone this disk, and select a disk to clone to. Obviously, we're going to clone to this disk here. Now, I have this SSD disk attached to the computer using a hard drive dock, USB 3 hard drive docker. Pretty much you can pick them up from your computer shop, plug it into the USB 3 port on your computer, and the disk will show up here. So we want to clone to this disk. Okay, click next. We don't want to add a schedule, we just want to do it now, so click next. Now we want to just double check here before we click finish that we've got the source and destination correct. So source disk, you can see there it's 238.47 gig, and the destination disk is 447.13. So just double check that, and now we're sure we know which is our source and which is our destination. We want to copy all the partitions. Just makes it easier to boot. You probably could, with Windows 7, it needs all these active system partitions to boot. With Windows 10, it's not so fussy. Pardon me. You can actually just copy the C drive, and Windows 10 boot manager is smart enough to figure that out, and it'll still boot. But with Windows 7 especially, you want to make sure you copy all the partitions. So by default, it'll just copy all of them. So you can see here, it'll show you each partition that it's going to copy, which in this case is all of them. So we're going to hit finish. We want to run it now. We don't want to save it as a schedule. It's not in this case, we're not backing up, we're just cloning. So we're going to hit OK now. And this process can take a couple of hours, depending. It shouldn't take that long in this case because we're cloning from an SSD to another SSD. So the cloning process is going to be a lot faster than if you were cloning a regular hard drive to an SSD. It's very easy in this case because the destination drive is larger than the target. We don't have to worry about shrinking any partitions. It is a little bit more tricky when you're downsizing. So normally, if you're copying a standard hard drive to an SSD, you're going to be copying from a large drive to a smaller drive. And there's a few little tricky steps involved in doing that. I might make another video with those steps on it. But basically, this program will be smart enough to figure out that you want to shrink your main volume to fit on it. But anyway, I'll show you that in another video. All right, I'm going to let this run and I'll get back to you. So the process of cloning finished. I've shut the computer down once that had finished, removed the old SSD drive and just simply replaced it with the new one. Press the power button and it's booted up exactly as it would have with the old drive. So the clone has worked perfectly. Now there's one last step. Of course, when you look at the disk space, it shows up exactly the same as it did before. And the reason for that is the cloning software just copies the partitions as they are. So it's not going to increase the partition for you. So if we just go into Disk Manager, so I'll just go to the Microsoft Management Console, add, remove, snap in, Disk Management. Yeah, you'll see that there's our C drive, and then we've got this unallocated space here of 208 gigabytes. Now, this Windows Petition Manager is very limited. You can't actually extend the volume unless the free space is sitting next to the volume. We could delete this petition because the recovery petition is not really needed, especially once we upgrade to Windows 10. There's not really much reason to keep that there. It's just for HP, if you want to restore the machine to factory settings, you can use that petition. But you can easily just install Windows 10 from scratch anyway. And since we're going to be updating to Windows 10, there's not really... We could just delete that and extend this petition using this Windows Boot Manager. But I'm going to show you a different way to do it because most of the time you'll probably find that method's not going to work for you. Okay, what we're going to do is install a program called Mini-Tool Partition Wizard. Now, this is the program that I used to use to do the whole cloning process. Unfortunately, they've changed it so it's not free to do a disk clone on this software anymore. So it's a bit of a hassle. We have to install a separate program just to extend that partition, but I'm going to show you how to do that. Like I said, there is... if I was to take this disk out and plug it in with a caddy into my other computer, which already has this partition software installed, I could extend the drive that way and plug it back into this computer again. That's what I would probably normally do. But I want to show you how to do everything on the one computer just for simplicity's sake. And if you don't have the tools available to you, it's a way that you can do this job without any other computers being available. Just install that version and be mindful whenever you're installing this, anything like this, just read the actual installation steps. Don't just click next, 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 because stuff like this, we don't want to install Shadow Maker. We don't want to participate in the customer experience. And often you'll find yourself installing software that you didn't really want. So just read what you're clicking next onto and just install only what you need. So this is finished installing now. So we're going to launch the mini tool Petition Wizard. We don't want to, we'll just close this website now because we don't want to purchase the license right now. So when we get, this has changed a little bit, but basically it'll show you the all the different partitions of the disk here. You can see here that there's our C drive, there's our unallocated space. So what we want to do is extend that C drive into the unallocated space. Okay, so this is the program, like I said. What we want to do is extend the partition. So if we right click on the Windows partition and click on extend, it's asking us where we want to take the free space from. So we don't want to take it from the D drive, we want to take it from the unallocated drive. It's got this slider here, how much space do you want to take? Well, let's just take it all. So we're going to slide it up full size. So it's telling us here that our new size is going to be 435.64 gigabytes after we've done this process. So let's click OK. Now, once you've done that, what you need to do is click Apply. Apply pending changes. Yes, we would like to apply the pending changes. Now, because we're extending the actual partition that the computer is running from, it has to actually reboot to do that. So I'm gonna choose Restart Now, and what will happen is you will see before Windows boots, it will actually boot to its own little program, and you'll actually see it do the resize, and then it's going to boot to Windows. I can't show you that, but it will do that. So I'm just going to restart now, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's been restarted. All right, so I have done that process. I've rebooted. Now, if we go into here, we can see that we have 205 gig extra space, and that's exactly the reason we did this whole process, was to give extra space onto this computer. So we're all done. So we've done everything without needing to boot to